want to take a few moments here to show you the operating parameters and how to operate the Poultry Hawk. To begin with, I want to show you a few warnings. Do not ride or climb on the Poultry Hawk. Doing so could cause injury and or death. If the Poultry Hawk were to come off the rail while you are riding or climbing, it could be very dangerous. So do not ride or climb. Also, want you to be aware of the pinch point on the dump models. So if the dump is open and when it goes to close, any body part it gets in there, again, that could cause injury and or death. So stay away from the dump when the dump is closing. So be very aware of that. Also, I want you to be aware of the emergency stop button. This button is to stop the Poultry Hawk whether it's moving forward or reverse. The button also opens up the dump when the button is pressed. So if someone gets a body part in there or something, you just hit the emergency button and it opens it up. And again, if it's running, it stops it as well. Just kind of a safety feature that we want on the Poultry Hawk. So the emergency stop button stops the unit from running and opens up the dump. When you go to release it, it does not let the dump go back closed. You have to hit the dump button on the remote for it to go back closed. Again, we want to protect anyone from getting inadvertently pinched in the dump. Now when we're ready to run the Poultry Hawk, we want to make sure our rail is ready. So we want to make sure that all the bridges, end stops, magnetic stops are where you want them to be so it operates smoothly. You also want to make sure that any hoses, cables are out of the way. That way it doesn't, again, inadvertently run the Poultry Hawk off the rail or stall it, what have you, or mess something up in your house. So it's always good to make sure, just check your track, make sure everything is clear on the track and ready to go. Once you're ready to go, we want to make sure that your battery is installed properly. We want to make sure the nuts are tightened down and the wires are fastened. Funny things can happen when your battery is not secured properly. Also, when you're securing your battery, putting the battery on, just a preventative maintenance item is you can put dielectric grease or some kind of corrosive grease on there that keeps it from corroding, gives longevity to those wires, and that keeps that connection good for a longer period of time. Now we want to get to operating the Poultry Hawk. We've got the battery installed. Now we'll simply turn the switch on, and we're ready to go. When the Poultry Hawk gets to one of the magnetic stops, it is going to stop automatically. In order to go through that stop, we simply just have to hold down on the button and for just 2 seconds, and the Poultry Hawk will run through that stop. So that's how you get the Poultry Hawk to run through a magnetic stop, or after it's been tripped by a magnetic stop. Again, as mentioned, the dump button is used to dump the dump. You hit the dump button again, and it closes the dump. The stop button stops the Poultry Hawk from going forward and reverse. Then we also have the speed control, and we can set here and we can adjust the speed, and we can see that on our screen here, the adjustment of the speed before it is even running. And we can adjust that with the buttons here. There's also an auxiliary button, accessory button here on the remote. That is, when we press that button, it activates this port. That's for Poultry Hawk accessories if you ever get those down the road. There's also the track diverter button on the remote. This is to run a Poultry Hawk track diverter that allows the Poultry Hawk to go outside the house. Again, that is another add-on system to the Poultry Hawk rail system. So that gives for adaptability down the road. Also, when running the Poultry Hawk, it's good to keep the voltage normally above 12 volts. If it's setting here and it's below 12 volts, it's good to go ahead and charge it. If it's setting here and the voltage is above 12 volts, then I'm not charging it nearly every day. So that's just kind of a rule of thumb to kind of go by, that again, below 12 volts, I'm plugging my charger in and charging the Poultry Hawk. If you're experiencing difficulty with the Poultry Hawk operating control panel or something, feel free to go to your manual, our website. We have some troubleshooting videos there. If something isn't real clear, make sure and contact your local dealer for help. And if that doesn't help you at all, then make sure and contact us here at Innovative Poultry Products, and we will be glad to help you out with that, the problems you're experiencing. Now I want to go to maintenance. The Poultry Hawk does not require a lot of maintenance. Really, the main thing you want to check is just yearly grease the swivel pins, the 2 swivel pins. Grease those about once a year. Then when you're running the Poultry Hawk, always just kind of keep an eye. Just, you know, is everything secure? Does it look like anything's coming loose? There's not a lot that can go wrong. One thing you keep an eye on is that gearbox walking off the wheel shaft there. You know, that's something to keep an eye on. We haven't had any troubles with that, really. But that's something, you know, again, just is there bolts coming loose or anything gotten knocked loose over time? Just something to keep an eye on over time. But it doesn't require very little maintenance. You know, the other thing to keep an eye on is the battery fluid. Over time, batteries can get low in fluid, and it's good to keep that water level up in the batteries. Also, corrosion on the terminals can happen over time, and dealing with that corrosion helps a good running. Do not wash down the Poultry Hawk panel. It's pretty well watertight, but we don't want to, there's electronics in there, and so washing it down could get moisture in the box, which could cause problems. So don't wash it down. It's best to blow it down, or even if you do wash it down, if you take a hose and you rinse it down, just make sure you do not run it for maybe a day. Open the box up and make sure there's no moisture in the box from that. The bottom can be taken off, and you can take it out and certainly wash the dump out. And that's certainly good to do. General rule, I like to brush it down and blow the Poultry Hawk down to clean it. So that pretty well is maintenance of the Poultry Hawk. Just a few tips then on using the Poultry Hawk. When we were using the dump specifically for feed, it's good. I like to just unplug it. That way I'm not accidentally hitting the dump button and I'm dumping my feed, or if I have a plastic insert, it doesn't mess up the plastic insert or something on the dump. So I always like to unplug it if I'm using it for feed or something else. Also, these pop pins on the Poultry Hawk make it for quick adjustment and fold up. So that's just, again, a easy feature for the Poultry Hawk that makes it nice and user friendly. I think you'll enjoy the Poultry Hawk. I think you won't regret the investment you made there in the Poultry Hawk. We here at Innovative Poultry are grateful for your business. And if you have any questions, contact your local dealer, and if they cannot help you, we here at Innovative Poultry Products stand by to help you. We appreciate your business and thank you for allowing Innovative Poultry Products to supply you with this dead bird removal system.